David Hartman asks, I recently inquired a Cerebus phone book, 2001, 10th printing for $8. I immediately noticed that the panel with Cerebus from the back, issue number 1, is in silhouette, like the counterfeit single issue. Anyone else notice this or know why? I have no idea what he's talking about. Do you know what he's talking about?
Okay, in the counterfeit service number 1, the number 1 telltale way to tell a real from a counterfeit, if you actually can open the books and look at them, is page 16 with the big dragon. The little Cerebus figure in the original is colored. He's toned, but he's also slightly, it's a darker tone because he's in shadow. And in the counterfeit,
right.
He's black.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that would be pre-remastering fault. To get the most thorough answer on that, you'd probably want to talk to Sean Robinson about the raw materials that he had to work with. I think what he discovered was that Cerebus number 1, until he actually got to it and was able to remaster it from the raw materials, was basically done pretty much as the counterfeit was, just shot from the printed copies. That would be Swords of Cerebus and the early Cerebus trade paperbacks, and that seems to loop us back to the earlier question about how long did this go on, and it's like it would not surprise me that the 10th printing we were still doing that, just because everything was forward momentum. 2001, it was 264 issues done, 36 more to go. I hope I don't lose my mind before we get there, and I have to stay focused on this and do the best possible job that I can. In terms of priorities, oh my God, this picture of Cerebus with the dragon, he's a silhouette instead of a toned figure. We have to work on this. It's like, after March 2004, there will be plenty of time to work on this. And in terms of the remastering, 2004 wasn't even the beginning of it. 2004 was when I started putting together the archive, like boxes of papers from downstairs, and some of them have rising damp, and the cardboard is rotting, and I have no idea what papers are in there, but I can't stop working on Cerebus in order to go down and get all of those and rescue them, because I don't know which boxes need rescuing. And that was the higher priority. Again, people were buying the Cerebus trade paperback. I wasn't getting bags and bags of mail from people saying, why is Cerebus a silhouette on this page? So you fix the things that you think need fixing in an order of priority. And when you're talking about a 6,000 page graphic novel, boy, oh boy, is there a number of priorities. And I'm still doing that to this day. What's the next thing that I have to do? And what's the best way to do it? And try and get as much of it done as possible in however much time I've got left, my 60s, my 70s, if I keep going into my 80s. And then, okay, Eddie Kana, over to you. This is how much I got done in 50 or 60 years. I hope you don't have 50 or 60 years worth of work left to do, but it wouldn't surprise me a great deal to find that out. Okay, and JDG, DiGiacomo. I'm trying to learn how to pronounce that. It's DiGiacomo. I think I got it now. does anyone know what year this Christmas card is from? And I can narrow it down as far as it was the year after Jack Frost roasting on the open fire, because that one everyone thought was funny, and I thought, okay, I have to live up to that one, and I thought this one was funny. The what if you merged A Christmas Carol with It's a Wonderful Life, so that you had equal parts of one and the other. And, you know, the Ghost of Jacob Marley. Look, Daddy, teacher says when a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. And that one landed with a complete dull thud. My dad in particular, I was trying to, he was asking me, oh, I don't get it. What is the joke? And it's like, it's a Christmas Carol and A Wonderful Life. And I'm not sure it was true, but my impression was my dad didn't know what It's a Wonderful Life is. And it's like, and I don't really know what to say to you about it. I assume everybody knew what It's a Wonderful Life is. And Zuzu at the end saying, look, Daddy, the teacher says when a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Like I say, it would be the year after Jack Frost roasting on an open fire. I think Jack Frost roasting on an open fire was Karen McKeel was still there. So it would be 87, 86, 87, 88, somewhere in there. Siskel and Ebert are part of the punchline. And Gene Siskel died sometime after I did that card, and not long after I did that card. So if you look up birth and death dates for Gene Siskel, whatever year he died, it was the Christmas before that this card was. That's as close as I can get to an answer.
I think he died in 93.
93?
I cut some of there's back and forth between Jen and Margaret about the card, and Jen said that it mentions Gene Siskel and he died. She said what year he died, and I thought it was 93.
Okay.
So it could be 92.
Right. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That whatever year it was, that's all I could help with on that one.
Your dad not knowing It's a Wonderful Life kind of makes sense to me, but that's because... So It's a Wonderful Life is a beloved holiday classic that everyone has seen multiple times, but it was an absolute failure at the box office the year it was released. It just bombed horribly. And it bombed so bad that when the copyright came up for renewal, the right holders went, there's no money in this, and they let it go in the public domain. Enter UHF television, where anything they can show on TV for the cheapest amount of money is the greatest thing in the world, and it became a beloved holiday classic because every year at Christmas they could show it and not have to pay anyone any money.
See, you couldn't make that up. It's like, what fools these mortals be. Oh, God. Yeah. And it was what's his name made the film? I'm trying to remember the name.
Frank Capra.
Frank Capra, yeah. And it's like, that's always seen as one of his major hits. That, yes, this is the Frank Capra film that everybody knows. Far more than, let's say, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, with the former being far more well-known than the latter, although probably not deservedly so. And now it's like, it's Frank Capra. Everything Frank Capra did was brilliant. think what we're probably hoping for is that someone somewhere over the next 50, 75, 100 years will have a set of the Cerebus Christmas cards with the original envelope that came in and the postmark on it. And until that happens, we're not going to know when the Cerebus Christmas cards were actually done. That was another one of those. If you're going to do Christmas cards, you've got to do them like in July or August, which is not the time that you want to be thinking about Christmas cards. But you can't suddenly start going, hey, it's getting to be Christmas, time to do a Christmas card. By then it's too late. And most of the time it was, yeah, if I thought of something and I really wanted to do it, which I did with this one, then I will do it. But in terms of time to sit down and do a Christmas card, I think only married cartoonists with kids did that. Just because, well, Christmas is a big deal, so the family's got to have a family Christmas card. Us grumpy old, isolated, singleton divorcee cartoonists, it's like, forget about it. I'll go and buy a bunch of Christmas cards, and I'll write something funny in each one of them. And then this year, David Birdsong bailed me out by sending me a bunch of Cerebus and Hal Christmas postcards. So it's like, okay, as I told him, this is a giant load off my mind in June, because this is when I would have to start thinking about doing the Aardvark Anaheim Christmas card. And I really have no inclination to do that. There's no money in Christmas cards. I got to do stuff that makes money. I'm barely hanging on by my fingernails. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Go ahead.
No, I'm just laughing.
Okay, all right.
I have the same. I have the same thing every November. I'm like, I should have done a Christmas card this year, and it's like, I got a week or two that I could actually get something done, get it copied, then put it in envelopes, and it's like, do I have an idea? Yeah. Is it funny? Sure. Can I get it done in a week? No.
No, not in November. Once you're into that Christmas maelstrom whirlpool, it's like, no, the steep drop into the inner whirlpool, everybody goes, oh, right, November. I can't get anything done in November. I can't even think about anything about aside from the absolute essentials in November. And I think once all of the lockdowns end, everybody's going to go, in November, boy, do I ever miss the lockdown. It's like, I didn't have to do all of this stuff. Now I remember what Christmas used to be. Starts right after Halloween. 2.5 days later, it's here, and you didn't get everything done the way that